Every year, New York State turns out some of the country's finest amateur athletes. But the state championship that has been conducted longer than any other is the New York State High School Wrestling Championship. And with the exception of 1973, the road to the state championship has always led to Syracuse. And tonight, we're in the Onondaga County War Memorial as Cable 13 Sports and Syracuse Cable Systems presents the 1984 New York State High School Wrestling Championships. Hello again, everybody. I'm Dave Cohen, working once again with Dale Drypulcher. And Dale, this is our fourth year now for the state championships here at the Onondaga County War Memorial. As we began this competition yesterday, there were 4 athletes who had a chance to repeat as New York State champions, but only 2 of them will be in the finals tonight.
That happens quite a bit. When we get down to specifics, we'll look at those state champions. But when the competition gets this tough, Dave, there's a lot of people that get upset. There's people who are most outstanding wrestlers in their sections. They got beat in the preliminary. So it happens all the time, and that's one of the great things about amateur wrestling.
The host section is Section 3, but they only have 3 wrestlers here in the finals. There really is no home court advantage, despite the fact that this championship has been here now virtually every year since 1970. The name that you'll be hearing in just a little while, and the name that figures to be most prominently mentioned, is that of Marty King from the King family in Canandaigua, and Marty has a chance to repeat as a New York State champion. In fact, he already now has won more individual matches than anybody in the history of New York State high school wrestling.
Yeah, his record is 167, 11-1, which means that he's been wrestling in this tournament since he was in 8th grade, which is, a feat in itself. He beat the record set by Tony Cretronio, who wrestles for Syracuse University, who had it at 164, and it's quite an accomplishment. And when people are talking about the most outstanding wrestler, which is something that's given here every year, I think the person most prominently mentioned is Marty King, a 126-pounder from Canandaigua, and there's a lot of good wrestlers, but he's a man to watch.
At 112 pounds, Jeff Clark of Voorheesville also has a chance to repeat as a New York State high school wrestling champion. However, neither Brett Penrith nor Rich Pigeon will be back as a state champ. They were eliminated in earlier rounds.
Yeah, as I said, those 2 men, great competitors, but just the competition seems to get tougher each year, and just because you're a state champ once doesn't guarantee anything. Also, sometimes they'll win at 98, and they'll go up a couple of weight classes, and you'll see that giving up the weight when you get up a little bit older, it's tough, and that's what's happened to those 2 gentlemen. But we've got some fine wrestling ahead.
And Dale, besides the individual championships, there is also a team championship, a sectional championship involved, and right now it looks like the competition will come down to Section 11 and Section 5. Section 5 has qualified 8 wrestlers in the finals, and Section 11 has 7, and they are the defending champs.
That's right. It's kind of interesting, too. Section 6 right now, before they go in, has got a great number of points, but they don't only have but 1 wrestler in the finals. So we got some interesting matchups between 11 and 5. They go head-to-head in 4 different weight classes, so they should be able to determine their own future. And last year, everybody thought 5 was going to win, and 11 nosed them out. So we'll see what happens this year.
We've got 14 weight classes, and 28 wrestlers will be vying for the title of New York State High School Wrestling Championship. We'll be back with the action.
America's energy is mind power. Much of our country's future promise is with our colleges and universities. Syracuse student-athlete Tim Green.
There's a lot of diversity, and I think that's one of the great things about being a student-athlete is that, you spend all day in the classroom and, you're working hard mentally, and then you'll go to a meeting and you're working hard mentally in a football aspect. Then you get out on the field. It's also hard work, but you work your body hard and you've worked your mind hard, and you just go to bed at night and you feel really good about yourself. You've got mathematic exercises, and you've got weightlifting. You've got running, and you've got reading assigned literature. There's a lot of parallels, and I think that the training in one I think they just go hand in hand and just complement each other.
America's energy is mind power.
And as usual, a fine crowd on hand here at the Onondaga County War Memorial. They're rather quiet now, but they won't be for long. You can rest assured of that as soon as the action begins. The fans have just seen the introduction of the 28 finalists here in the New York State High School Wrestling Championships. I'm Dave Cohen along with Dale Dreipolter at Cable 13 Sports on the scene for the 4th consecutive year as we get set for our first round match at 91 pounds.
That's one of those weights, Dave, that's not usually wrestled during dual meets, that and the 250-pound matches.
Here's Rick Brzezinski from Section 11, West Islip on Long Island. 11, the defending champions. Rick Brzezinski is a sophomore. And his opponent tonight, Joe Lafredo of Baldwinsville. He's a senior representing Section 3, one of only 3 Section 3 wrestlers who have made it here to the finals. And Lafredo wrestling at 91 pounds. Brzezinski, when he takes the mat, you'll notice, has a significant height advantage over Lafredo. I don't know if that's significant in the sport of wrestling, but he does tower over his opponent. In fact, Brzezinski looks more like a track man.
It definitely is right. Height can be an advantage. And we'll see if Lafredo, who, by the way, is a senior, we get a look at him.
6 losses and 2 ties. This year's record, 31-0.
Senior against a sophomore. And our officials, by the way, in the first match today will be Al Fitz and Mike Giagos. Each section has its own color. Section 3 has the gold. And right now you're looking at Leo Johnson, the wrestling coach at Baldwinsville, with his hands upon the shoulders of his own product, Joe Lafredo. Lafredo will be wearing the green band around his right leg. You'll note the official has a green band on his right wrist and a red one on his left. That's to signal the scorers when a wrestler is awarded points. We're set to go here at 91 pounds.
Lafredo, as you said, Dave, is a senior. You see the records up there, both very impressive. Brzezinski only a sophomore, which is more usual when you're down at 91 pounds. It's kind of unusual. Lafredo would be at that weight class as a senior. And it's got to be tough keeping that weight, although he looks like he isn't having any trouble making weight.
All right, Dale, why don't you run down the timing of the periods and the scoring setup?
Basically, we're going to get a takedown right there. Brzezinski's going to pick up 2. We're going to wrestle 3 2-minute periods, and you notice there's an assistant referee who will help out. The assistant merely is there to advise, to see things that perhaps one man couldn't see. They're not always needed, but it's nice to have them with the state championships at stake. They go out of bounds, and they'll bring them back in. Lafredo, in the gold, is down by a score of 2-0, at virtue of that takedown by Brzezinski. And he's got about 1 minute, 22 seconds left to go in this period, in this first period.
2 minutes in the first period?
All the way, 2-2-2.
All right, the man on top, Rick Brzezinski. He's a sophomore from West Islip, Section 11.
He's trying to work the half, and he's got Lafredo broken down, and he's controlling him, but watch Lafredo. We've seen him before. Lafredo's a good mover from the bottom, but Brzezinski's using that extra height, use that leverage, and it's a real advantage in this situation.
And they move outside the circle, so the action stops with 43 seconds remaining in the first period. As time permits in each match, we'll go through the bracket and tell you how each of these finalists got here, in case you're wondering about some favorites you might have who are not represented in the finals of each weight class.
And there's some fine wrestlers who are not going to be represented in these finals. Incidentally, we heard Leo Johnson, the Lafredo's coach at Baldwinsville High School, saying, be sure to get your back points when you get your reverse. Very optimistic. 30 seconds left to go, and Lafredo, his wrestler, still down 2-0 to Brzezinski, the sophomore from West Islip. And that's a full Nelson. That's going to cost Brzezinski a point. Illegal hold. Kind of unusual. Generally, when they go this far, they don't slip up and make those kinds of mistakes, but he did there.
Is that considered dangerous?
Yeah, it's considered dangerous because you've got 2 hands under the arms and on the back of the neck, and of course, any kind of time you're dealing with the neck, they're not going to give any breaks there. So if those hands just brush, Dave, doesn't even have to be a full Nelson. If they just touch, they'll stop it and give a point.
How does a 91-pound wrestler differ in technique from the bigger weights?
Well, in this particular instance, usually they're a little bit faster as we come down with just about 5 seconds left to go in this particular period. They're generally a little bit faster, and you don't see as many things like legs in those particular techniques, but there's going to be no more points scored in this first period, and it's going to end with Lafredo down by 1 point as Brodzinski got a takedown. He's up 2-1.
All right, Brodzinski got here by decisioning Jared Berrios of the Catholic High School Athletic Association 20-2, and then Brodzinski defeated Ed Jackson 11-2, and then he took the measure of J.P. Epifano by a score of 8-5. Lafredo won his opening match over David Bishko 13-3, and then he took Darren Bush 5-4 and Mike Locagnato by a 10-3 score.
Lafredo almost out, but the leg is thrown by Brodzinski, and he's got a half in, and he's trying to run that up and get some back points. There's a nice shot. You see Brodzinski on the top, yellow headgear, blue uniform, while Lafredo on the bottom in the gold. Section 11 and Section 3. We mentioned Section 11 had a number of participants in this, not as many as Section 5, but for a section, this would be an important match for them.
They have 7. Section 5 has 8.
Incidentally, right now, Brodzinski has been warned for stalling. Top man. He's got to try to pin him. You can't just ride. And that's what he's doing. He reminds me of a college wrestler in style and philosophy.
Well, it's not surprising because Brodzinski was in the Empire State Games competing in freestyle, and he was first this past summer.
Well, as you know, Dave, in that freestyle, in the international rules, there's a lot more of that type style of wrestling, and we've seen it when Lehigh wrestled Syracuse. Did the same kind of thing. I'm very impressed with Brodzinski. He's a tall, lanky kid. I don't know how long he's going to last at 91 pounds. Because he just towers over, as you mentioned at the outset. He's a great deal taller than Lafredo.
And of course, speaking of freestyle and Greco-Roman, which I'm sure we'll mention sometime this evening, the Olympics are coming up this year, and this is a good time to learn about some of the sports you'll be seeing later this summer.
Right now, Brodzinski just riding Lafredo. He's been warned once for stalling. Brodzinski has by not trying to pin, but it looks like he's maybe in an opportunity to get some back points. Got that leg locked up. Lafredo's got his hand up behind, trying to bring him forward, get his weight up high. You can see time winding down, just about 15 seconds left in this second period.
That yelling you hear is from Leo Johnson, the head coach of Baldwinsville, of Lafredo, and is he coaching the Section 3 team?
No, they coach each individual. There is no team coach per se, and this period is going to end with Section 3's Joe Lafredo down by a score of 2-1 to Rick Brodzinski.
So no scoring in that second period. It's 2-1. The sophomore Brodzinski will be on the bottom. And Lafredo, who looks the fresher of the two, will be on top here as we begin period number 3. Anything different to look for now?
We'll have to see. He's got to score some points. He's down by 1, and the only way you can get any points in the top is to put him on his back. If he doesn't, if the period wears down, he may let him up and try to take him down. But right now he's going to try to get some back points. He's way out on top of Brodzinski, and he's trying to bring that arm back, get the half, but he's going to get caught here, and he's going to lose a point.
Yeah, the escape by Brodzinski there.
Oh, nice pick by Brodzinski. Not only did he escape, but he moved in a series. That's really important to watch. You know, it's one thing just to get out and say, okay, I got 1 point, but he knew as soon as he escaped, he was going to go right for the takedown, did a beautiful ankle pick, and picked up 2 more points. So that's going to make it 5-1 in favor of Brodzinski, and he's got an arm bar. He's got him barred up. He's going to try to bring him back, get some points. Those 2 supporting points of both wrestlers just out of bounds.
That's Leo Johnson on the right.
One of his assistant coaches from the Baldwinsville program with him. And their man in the gold, right there from Section 3, in a bit of trouble against Section 11's Rick Brodzinski from West Islip High School, because Brodzinski looked really sharp on that escape and takedown. And now he can afford, despite the fact he's been warned, he can afford to try to tie up the legs and waste some time off the clock. Oh, right there, reversal.
And that tightens things up. Now it is a 5-3 match.
You can never relax in these.
Now we're down to 45 seconds.
Lafredo's got his work cut out for him. He gave up an escape the last time. Now he's going to give up. You see right there the height, the ability from Brzezinski. Nice move. And the sophomore now is up by a score of 7-3 as they go out of bounds.
So they swap reversals, and Brzezinski now has only 31 seconds more in this match.
This matchup, I should say, was predicted. I think both of these were picked to go into the final match, and Lafredo, perhaps some people thought might be a favorite, but mainly on the virtue of his senior status.
Each wrestler wrestling for the fourth time in the span of less than 2 days.
2 points quickly by Lafredo, 7-5. He's got to tip him, get some back points. 18 seconds.
Down to 15. Brzezinski trying to hang on. He's leading 7-5.
Very hard to cradle. His body is so long, Lafredo can't get the cradle on him, and he's just kind of stalling. And he gets 1 point. He's going to get 1 point at the buzzer, and that's going to be 7-6. Strategy to Brzezinski. He stalled at just the right time, gave up 1 point at the buzzer. 7-6.
Well, here's a case where the young man who becomes the champion really looks the worse for wear. But Ricky Brzezinski from West Islip is the winner, 7-6. Now, as we move up to 98, it's Butch Hibbert of Canandaigua, Section 5. He's a junior. Butch Hibbert, second a year ago, and his opponent is Gene McNeil, a sophomore from Huntington, Long Island. Gene McNeil. Here's a look at Gene. Now, in this match, both wrestlers, as you'll see, will be wearing uniforms that are similar in color. This is Butch Hibbert, and his opponent is Gene McNeil.
They're running down the points now.
Section 5, 195 points.
Section 5 still in the lead. Section 6 basically in second place, but as I said at the top of the show, Dave, only one man in this finals.
The wrestling is being conducted on a mat from Syracuse University. There is only one mat, of course, used here in the finals, but in the earlier rounds, the preliminary round, the quarterfinals, and the semis, there was wrestling going on 4 different mats at once. So it's really quite a show, and there's all sorts of crowd response to the various activity on the given matches. But right here, everything, Dale, is concentrated on the one mat, the state championship mat.
Before this, it gets to be like a 4-ring circus, but the focus, as you said, right here, we're looking at Gene McNeil, and we're hearing Butch Hibbert's record in the background out of Canandaigua High School. So Hibbert will be in the red, not in the red uniform, but he'll be the visitor with the red tape on the foot. He put it on backwards.
He also has the red headgear, in case you're wondering.
Gene McNeil from Section 11, only a sophomore, and he's from Huntington, a great wrestling school. His overall record is 60-4 as a sophomore, and he was 6th in the states last year at 105 pounds. So McNeil is no stranger. Hibbert, go ahead, Dave.
Excuse me, Dale. Gene is the second and last sophomore you'll see in action tonight.
As I said, it's kind of unusual because although in the lower weights it happens a little bit more frequently. Hibbert tried a little hip throw there, a little 5-point move, didn't work. Hibbert was second in 98 in the states last year, and he's got an overall record of 101-9, and he's only a junior, so 100 wins is very, very impressive. Hibbert shooting for the takedown.
No points yet in this 98-pound championship. Hibbert has the leg of McNeil.
McNeil trying to fight out, not give up the takedown points, and Hibbert struggling.
Now, if he goes down, will Hibbert automatically pick up the points?
No, he's got to be in control. If he goes down and rolls away and gets out, there won't be any control at all, so there won't be any points. Hibbert is now giving up the leg, so McNeil, credit him with a nice job of getting out of that single leg grab by Hibbert. Now they're back on even footing, so to speak, pardon the pun, as they go out of bounds.
Warning green.
Warning green, so Gene McNeil is going to be warned for stalling, going off the mat, I would assume. You know, in the States, Dave, sometimes as you see Hibbert going, now he's got that sunk pretty well. McNeil trying to fight out again. And McNeil has already been warned once for stalling for going out of bounds.
We're into the final 13 seconds of the first period, and still no scoring. By the way, the officials are Lon Coven and Scott Chapman here in the 98-pound finals.
Once again, an ability here for Section 11 to gain some points. Standing right now is Section 5 has 195, and that's Hibbert right there from Section 5, who has not been taken down, but very close. No, saved by the buzzer.
And by the towel.
Yeah.
You may have seen somebody run into your picture and toss a towel against the body of the referee. That person and the purpose of the towel is simply to allow the referee to know that the period has expired.
Well, you get everybody yelling in here and screaming, and very, very difficult to hear what's going on. Hibbert will be getting on McNeil. There's Hibbert with the red headgear.
Hibbert's route to the finals here, well, he decisioned Pat Nolan, or pinned him actually in 5 minutes, 15 seconds. Then he decisioned Ed Ducharme 17-4 and beat Vincent Tabano 10-5. Butch Hibbert's second last year in the States at 98 pounds.
And he just gave up 1 point to McNeil for an escape. So McNeil from Section 11 scores the first points and only points so far in this match.
McNeil got here with a shutout over Eric Bass, 13-0, and then another shutout over Rich Barone, 7-0. Then he beat Chip Pettit of Section 3, 5-2, and McNeil was 6th a year ago in the States.
Pettit's a good wrestler, and right here, McNeil is picking up where he left off from decisioning Pettit. He's ahead of Hibbert by the score of 1-0.
Pettit, by the way, from Section 3, won a decision over Troy Monks 12-9, and then beat Roger Cannell 13-8 before losing McNeil 5-2.
Oh, watch McNeil. Nice job. They're going to get any points? We'll see. 1 point. Hibbert will pick up one. Excuse me. McDaniel. Let me try this again.
McNeil.
McNeil. I was going to say McNeil picked up a point because Hibbert went off the mat. So it'll be 2-0 now.
Butch Hibbert is the junior. Gene McNeil is the sophomore.
This was picked to be, again, most people felt that this would be the matchup here in this final bout. But they said it would be a real bruiser.
This is, by the way, the first of 4 head-to-head matches between Sections 5 and 11. They'll also meet at 126, 132, and 155.
And right now, Section 5 is in the lead with 195 points. Section 6 is right behind with 177.5, but as we said, they only have 1 wrestler in the finals. Section 11 has 177, so they're right there next to Section 5. Section 4 is in 4th place with 142, and Section 3 is in 5th place at this point with 137.5. But of course, Section 3 has a number of wrestlers in the finals as Hibbert.
McNeil tried to turn him over.
Yeah, he gives up 2. And they're going to go out of bounds.
And so now at the end of the second period, it is Gene McNeil leading Butch Hibbert 4-0.
McNeil wrestling very, very smart. He's 35-0 this year and 60-4 as a sophomore. That's really impressive. But as you look at Hibbert, he's in the Century Club already with 101 wins as a junior. So I'm sure he's going to come back. He's got some good opportunity being on the bottom in this period to escape. He's got to get some back points. First thing he's got to do is get an escape or a reversal. Because it looked like Hibbert had a little problem with McNeil when they were standing up, Dave, on their feet. McNeil looks to be very, very good on his feet. So if Hibbert's going to score, he's going to have to do it here from the bottom. He's got the arm locked up. McDaniel. Why do I keep saying McDaniel? McNeil had the arm locked up, trying to take it up. The referee right down there, make sure he does not take it up too far. You can see that arm locked up, and Hibbert on the bottom trying to get out. He's going to get some back points. He took that bar arm and took it right back.
He's in real trouble now.
See if they signify that he gets any points at all. Yes, there he is. He's got at least 2. Now he's got 3. If he gets to a count of 5, that'll give him 3 points. And I believe he reached that count. Of course, they have not awarded the points yet. You see the clock down to about 50 seconds left in this third period. And McNeil just holding Hibbert right there. You can see a great shot right there. He'll dig that chin in and try to bring Hibbert back down, bring those shoulders down to the mat. Watch him dig that chin in.
What can Hibbert do to get out of this predicament?
Hope the lights go out. It's very difficult. He's got it locked up. He's got the arm locked up. He's got the chin in. It's 30 seconds. All he's going to do is he's going to have to twist in the second. And if he doesn't, then he could get pinned. If he doesn't make it.
What does he have to do to get that pin?
Well, he's got to get the shoulders down, the blades down for a count of 2, but they aren't close. Well, they're close, but it's not close enough where I think he's going to get it. There's only about 8 seconds left, you see in the inset there. And
awfully frustrating position for Butch Hibbert.
Yes.
He spent the last 45 seconds or so in that precise position. And a sensational performance by Gene McNeil. We're still not sure of the final score on that. It was another shutout thrown by Gene McNeil. 7-0 is the final. So McNeil is the champion now at 98 pounds. You're watching the New York State High School Wrestling Championships here on Cable 13 Sports. Our 4th year of bringing these championships to you. And wherever you're watching locally, we're happy that you're with us here on Cable 13 Sports, the leader in local sports programming.
We talked at the top of the show about people getting beat before they get here to these finals. And there's a lot of people, and we'll try to run them down for you, as we said, have not made it. But there's a fine performance by McNeil, only a sophomore. As we get set for the 105-pound matchup. Get a look at part of the crowd here. Fill this war memorial.
Here's Paul Lanphier of Canandaigua, school that has many representatives here tonight. He's a junior at Canandaigua, and at 105 pounds, his opponent will be Phil Consiglio from North Rockland High School. He's a junior representing Section 9, the only wrestler from that section. And Phil has taken a pair of 6th places in the previous 2 years here at the state championships. The officials in this 105-pound championship will be Tom Riccio and Gene Monaco. Lanphier and Consiglio.
Look at Lanphier. Lanphier has got 105 total wins, 14 losses. His overall record this year, 35-4. So very, very impressive. And they're making the announcements in the background. That's not Brzezinski, of course. That's Consiglio from Section 9. Only an 11th grader. So we've got 11th grader against 11th grader. You can see the concentration. It's been a long 2 days of wrestling. They started here Friday in the afternoon. Wrestled this morning at 10 o'clock. And as they went to the finals, they wrestled up to 4 matches. And as we've said before, you'll see some bruises and scrapes.
105-pound 6th-place finisher. Overall record 96 wins, 14 losses, 1 tie.
In case you just joined us, at 91 pounds, Rick Brzezinski defeated Joe Lafredo 7-6. And Gene McNeil has just defeated Butch Hibbert by a score of 7-0.
The wrestlers like to This waiting really kills them because they get there mentally set, ready to go, and lots of times they really just want to go out and wrestle and get it over with. But it's nice to know that much about them.
Canandaigua High School, Section 5, Paul Lamphere.
Consiglio back in 1982.
Lamphere right away, the man with the green.
Consiglio, 1982, was a freshman when he took 6th place. Last year as a sophomore, also 6th.
Not bad. Lamphere almost had a takedown, but he gets the tables turned on him. Consiglio puts him right down. No back points. Takedown right away. 2-zip. Potentially dangerous. So Consiglio went right after Lamphere. Took him down. Lamphere second in the States in 105 last year. Again, potentially dangerous when they reach that particular point, and you can't keep doing that. Officials will tell them you can't keep causing that to happen. Consiglio will now get on. There he is. Red headgear, white stripe down the side. Lamphere tries a roll. And right away we're going to see the legs thrown in by Consiglio from North Rockland. He had Lamphere in trouble. Looked like he might get some back points in that first takedown. Didn't get any, but it was close. They're going to go out of bounds right to our left. Crowd not quite into this one yet.
Consiglio leading 2-0.
As we said, Consiglio looked to have Lamphere in trouble. Not much of a move by Lamphere on the bottom. Consiglio got the half in, trying to kick the leg out, break down the base. And you can see Consiglio right there on the top with that half Nelson while Lamphere moves on the bottom. And he's going to try to tip him and get some points. Lamphere would like to just get rid of that arm control, but he can't do much without it. You see right there how they wrestle on the edge of disaster. Consiglio did. He doesn't get any points. But you notice, Dave, he'll ride him from the side and put himself in trouble to try to tilt that back over and pick up some back points. It didn't work that time, but Consiglio's a sharp wrestler.
Phil Consiglio and Paul Lamphere.
You can hear people yelling up and out to Lamphere. That's easier said than done sometimes.
15 seconds in period number 1. That's a good look at Lamphere.
Lamphere has not been moving well on the bottom. His first move is really not much to put any kind of pressure on Consiglio, and Consiglio just throws the legs and goes to the half Nelson. And it's going to run out of time here, but Consiglio definitely in charge.
As we come now to the end of period number 1, and Phil Consiglio leading Paul Lamphere 2-0. Consiglio got here by defeating Richard Pigeon, last year's 91-pound state champ, who was attempting to move up 2 weight classes to 105. The score in that one was 12-10 as Consiglio defeated Richard Pigeon. Earlier on, Consiglio had decision Matt Brown 12-2, and then Dave Kuhn 7-2.
That's impressive because, as we said, Pigeon was a state champ and one of those people that gets beat out on the way.
Lamphere's route here was equally impressive because he beat the defending 105-pound champ. Even more impressive at that, Brett Penrith, and Lamphere won that one 6-4. Earlier on, Lamphere defeated Fred Varon, pinned him in 5 minutes 20 seconds, and beat Philip Masso 10-6 and Penrith 6-2.
And Consiglio's got him in trouble. He had the leg in, doubled up, had a half Nelson, and just tried to, you can see him, watch that left hand go up, try to control the neck. And he slides, boy, he moves well from the bottom. Controls the arm, slides his hips out, and you see Lamphere doing turn-ins, trying to roll and get out, but he just can't get away from Consiglio. You see him elevating the leg, and Lamphere just not able to do much. as we come down to about 50 seconds left in this period, second period. Consiglio on top again with the legs, got the leg in. You can see he's just dominating the match. He's only got 2 points, Dave. Not able to get him over on his back. And you see a lot of strategy. They're double up. Look at him double up on that. He's got the half, and he just tries to put the extra leverage on with that other hand and drive him over while he keeps the leg.
That's potentially dangerous, and so the official separated them and gave the warning.
All right, he really got heavy on that half Nelson, and they decided that it was a little bit too dangerous, potentially dangerous. Let's watch Lanfear's move on the bottom. Let's see what he does. He has not been moving well from the bottom. Consiglio on the top. Not much. Oh, he had Consiglio off balance. Now he's got a chance to. Lanfear got a chance. He hasn't scored yet. Consiglio heavy on the leg, got 2-on-1 on the leg, trying to hold on.
Doesn't have any time, though. And all that goes for naught, no scoring. So we've come to the end of the second period now, and it is still Phil Consiglio 2 and Paul Lanfear nothing.
I had to give Lanfear a little confidence because he hadn't been doing much to that point, but he did. But that man right there, Consiglio, wrestling very well. He's in the driver's seat. He's on the bottom. Lanfear's in the top. Lanfear's going to have to really turn him over to get some points. He's going to let him up. I thought that might happen. So Lanfear lets him up and is going to try to get some points in a takedown position. Hope he can maybe throw the big one and pin Consiglio. They're going to go out of bounds. Score now 3-0. In favor of Consiglio. But he gave up. Lanfear gave up this position on top to get back into a takedown position. If he does, he'll only be down by 1 point. Time's running out.
He's got to bring him down and control him. So far, he's done neither.
Oh, nice hip throw. No points awarded yet. But Consiglio is just about, there he is. Now he got him. Not only did he get him, he's got Lanfear in real trouble. Now they're going to go out of bounds. 2 back points, 2 takedown, 4-point move. That should be 7-0. And Lanfear got his nose caught. And we'll see if that's, yeah, that's a nose. So Consiglio, Phil Consiglio out of North Rockland, Section 9, the junior, really looking sharp against Lanfear. You can hear him looking. They're trying to keep him dry, keep him loose. And for a bloody nose, there's no injury time taken. That's an official timeout. If he were injured, it would be a different story. But bloody noses happen so frequently, they're not considered really an injury.
Phil Lanfear now has 1 minute, 8 seconds to try and do the impossible, or so it seems.
It looked like he had a decent shot, but Consiglio threw a hip throw and put him right on his back. Picked up 4 points. Once again, he goes right to the half with the tight waist, brings him to the side, then throws the leg. And this gives him a great opportunity. If he doesn't score, he eats up the clock. We're under a minute, and that's all Consiglio is going to try to do. He's got that half in now from the right side. You see the inset, the clock, down to just about 45 seconds right now, 45. Lanfear trying to reach up over the back and turn in at the same time. Does, gets an escape. Goes right back after Consiglio.
Now down to 30 seconds.
The only thing he can do now is pin him. And Lanfear is going to try to get in a position where maybe he can throw a 5-point move. But even that won't be enough. Down to just about 15 seconds as they go out of bounds. Make that 16 seconds. So Lanfear, the junior from Canandaigua, has got just 16 seconds to score some points on Phil Consiglio, the junior from North Rockland in Section 9.
And the only representative of that section, so it may be a surprise to some that a area of New York State without much wrestling representation here in the finals is about to defeat one of the Section 5 wrestlers. And it just has happened. Victorious Phil Consiglio, in a dominating effort, defeats Phil Lamphere.
Section 9, Phil Consiglio.
Consiglio actually wasn't even, when you talk to the people about who they thought would end up in that final match, Consiglio was not one of your prime considerations.
98-pound class, 6th place, Section 3, Jim Pettit.
So now we've completed 3 matches. We still have 11 weight categories left. As we move up now to 112 pounds to get set for the match between Tony Melfi, Connetquot, and Jeff Clark of Voorheesville. Connetquot? How do you pronounce that, Dale?
Let's see, that would be Connetquot.
Well, here's Tony Melfi from Section 11, a junior at Connetquot. And we'll be seeing his opponent. Here he is, Jeff Clark of Voorheesville, one of the defending state champions. He won it a year ago at this particular weight class, 112 pounds. So it'll be Clark and Melfi.
Clark has 151 wins, 10 losses. Very, very impressive. Melfi, 11th grader, 76, 6-1. So he's no slouch himself. I guess if you wanted to look at the favorite, you'd have to go with Clark.
He and Marty King are the only 2 defending champions who still have a shot at repeating here in 1984.
Section 2 has been very, very well represented in previous last 3 or 4 years. This year, not especially. 3 wrestlers in this, but
this year's record, 32 wins, no losses. 17-year-old senior, Voorheesville High School.
There you see the undefeated Jeff Clark against the twice-beaten Tony Melfi.
Clark in the maroon is the red wrestler, the visiting team, and he's just going to get a takedown. Yes, he does. 2 points. So Melfi taken down right away.
You can see quickly off the bat that Clark is the class wrestler here with the experience. He knows exactly what he's going to do.
We've seen it happen before. You see a wrestler who just appears so sure of himself and knows exactly what he's going to do, and you see he's going to try to tip Melfi. He's going to get some back points in a second. Yep, he's going to pick up at least 2. Now they start to count again. He should pick up 3. Well, Mr. Miley, the official on the bottom.
He's in total control, Dale.
Yes, he is, and he's really levering up. He's got the arm and the head locked up, which is potential. Well, I was going to say it's legal, but it could be dangerous, and just as I was going to say that, they said potentially dangerous. So Melfi escapes the pinning combination through a potentially dangerous call.
Right now, Tony Melfi looks like a man whose worst fears are about to come
Just
true.
realize, the worst thing you can think happen, you say, oh, gracious, it's happening right now. And when you've got 151 wins, as Clark does, I can remember back when they first started the state championship, you didn't get people that had that many wins. It was almost unheard of. They started the Century Club for people who had 100 wins. You might have to start a 150 club. Marty King, who's going to show up in a little bit, over 165, 167 wins, actually.
Which is the all-time New York State individual record.
Right. Tony Cotroneo, the wrestler for Syracuse, has 164, or we had when he was in high school. Now Clark's got 151, but apparently Melfi doesn't really care about how many wins he's got because he's coming right out and going after Clark. In fact, he's going to get a point. Yes, he will get an escape right there.
And the end of period number 1. Jeff Clark leading Tony Melfi 4-1.
You never have an easy match. You never had an easy match in the States. See some of the coaches looking on. It's like a coaches' convention here over this weekend.
Gene Mayle and Ken Reisinger, by the way, are the officials here at 112 pounds.
Miley is a local official. They mix them all up. As we said, the assistant is just there to do just what that says, assist, help out in case the main referee might not be able to see something. He cannot call pins, by the way, the assistant referee. Oftentimes you don't get many pins in this finals. Clark trying right now to get Melfi over on his back. 120 and counting in the second period, and he's got him on his back. Should get 2 points out of this if he tried to take the arm up. Miley stopped him from bringing the arm up. 2 back points he gets, and I believe an injury, a bloody nose. Yes. So Melfi, who took a shot on the nose, but not before he gave up 2 back points. So it'll be 6-1 when they resume. We get an idea of just how tough this is as they work on Melfi's nose, trying to put some cotton there, stop the bleeding. And they do, and Melfi will be back.
So after a short respite, Tony Melfi back on the bottom, in the grasp of Jeff Clark, who now leads 6-1.
He's in complete control. He's got that leg. Now what he wants to do is take out that other leg. Boy, he took that right down to the mat. 45 seconds or so, just about, left in this second period. Clark and Melfi. Clark on top in the maroon, the darker uniform. It's from Section 2, while Melfi on the bottom is from Section 11. So, once again, if you're thinking about sectional titles for the team, this would be important for 11 to win if they want to stay in the race with Section 5, and another potentially dangerous.
Tony Melfi got to the finals by pitting Jack Dominy in 3 minutes 31 seconds. Then he beat Rich Perrette 10-4, and then he pinned Tom Martin in 4 minutes 49 seconds. He himself is in danger of being pinned in this match against Jeff Clark.
Yeah, he's trying to get an escape or trying to get the reversal. Just very difficult to move because Clark is just all over him.
By the way, Dale, the 1 point that Clark has surrendered here is the only point he has given up in these championships. He beat Joe Hibbert 11-0. Then he took Scott Allen 7-0, and then Joe Stricars 9-0.
So now you could make a case for Jeff Clark as a possible most outstanding wrestler candidate.
And once again, it's a bloody nose being suffered by Tony Melfi.
That's a real bloody nose. And as we talked about this most outstanding wrestler, they don't vote until the end. We may not ever not know during this broadcast exactly who it is, but it's this man from Section 2 certainly deserves consideration.
All right, he's out now for period number 3. Tony Melfi will be up top. He's trailing on the scoreboard 6-1. And here you'll get a good look at just what Clark can do from the bottom position as the experienced wrestler, the defending champion. Not exactly letting Melfi have his way.
Just kind of takes his time, and you find most of these wrestlers are smooth right there. Now, see, he got an escape. Nobody even really kind of saw it happen. It was just he very, very smoothly made his move, got rid of the hand control, stood up, got away, and goes right back after a takedown. That's what I like about this wrestler. He really uses his moves in complete transitions from one to another.
7-1, the lead for Jeff Clark over Tony Melfi. Section 3's representative was Chris LeBate, and he lost to Joe Strikars 4-3.
He's only a junior, so he'll be back too. Labatt. Right now, Clark perhaps in a bit of trouble for a second. Gives up a couple of points, going to make it 7-4. No, it's 7-3. 7-3. Right now, Clark on the bottom just shrugs over and takes him right over his head, takes Melfi right over his head, going to get another escape. Makes it 8-3. And they go out of bounds. So 8-3, 33 seconds left. Clark in for the single leg. Now he doubles up on it with two hands, and he'll be content to just kind of hang around here for a while until the clock runs out.
And there's only 15 left, and now less, as you can see. Jeff Clark just seconds away from his second New York State championship. Just surrendered a couple of points, however, he's leading now only 8-5. Tony Melfi runs out of time, and Jeff Clark, who got a workout there in the third and final period, has earned his second consecutive state championship. He doesn't really look too pleased, but he is the state champion.
He gave up a point at the end for stalling, too, so actually the final score was 8-6, but of course not even actually that close if you're watching the match. So 112 pounds, Clark reigns again. And we'll get set in a second here to move on to the 119-pound class.
You're watching the New York State High School Wrestling Championships here at the Onondaga County War Memorial. Dave Cohen along with Dale Drypolcher and Cable 13 Sports on the scene for the fourth consecutive year. We'll be back with more right after this.
This is Barbara Jacobs, coach of the Syracuse University women's basketball team. When we go on the road, we're proud to carry the name of our city and our community across the country because Syracuse is a winner. To all our fans, especially Orange Pack and Orange Plus members, we want you to know that your support, your involvement, and your encouragement are an important part of our program. Thanks, Syracuse, for all you do for SU Athletics.
We're set now for action at 119 pounds as you watch the 1984 New York State High School Wrestling Championships here on Cable 13 Sports. It'll be Willie Warren of Freeport and his opponent Trevor Ernie here from Maine Endwell in Section 4. He is a junior. Trevor Ernie from Maine Endwell, and here's Willie Warren of Freeport, a senior, representing Section number 8 on Long Island. 119 pounds, Willie Warren and Trevor Ernie set to go. Warren is on the left, Ernie on the right. Trevor Ernie was third last year at 112 pounds. Willie Warren was fifth a year ago.
Willie Warren from Section 8 in Long Island. See the records there, 35-2-0 for Ernie, and Willie Warren undefeated this year, 30-0.
Willie wrestles without socks.
You know, a lot of wrestlers do that. So does Trevor.
That's right.
Willie's got an overall record, 109-14. Another one of those, keep seeing these people that got those 100 career wins, more than 100. Very impressive, and he's a 12th grader, but Trevor Ernie's only an 11th grader, and he's got 101 wins. So both men pretty evenly matched. I would say that most people would give the edge to Willie from Freeport.
Trevor Ernie is the only representative of Section 4. That's in the southern tier.
It's funny, when you do the sectional, when they add up total the points, you win a lot for wrestlebacks. You can wrestle off for 6th and 5th place and 3rd and 4th, and you get points every time. So you may not have, of course, you have to have people in the finals. We see Trevor Ernie is going to take Willie Warren to the mat. No points awarded yet. Now they are 2 for Trevor.
The crowd is really into this match.
They love an upset. They love upsets. And Trevor Ernie is a little bit more of a local kid, actually. He is just from down Route 81 down to Section 4, while Trevor Ernie's from Section 8. Excuse me, Willie Warren is from Section 8.
Under a half a minute remaining here in period number 1, a 2-0 lead for the man who you call the underdog, Trevor Ernie.
Yeah, he picked up 2 points for that takedown, so it's 2-0 in favor of Trevor.
Willie Warren looking over in this direction as if to say he may have a lead, but there's a lot more left in me.
I'm sure there is. But Trevor Ernie is just good tight waist, good move on the top, broke him down. Watch the hand control. Warren's trying to rip the hand off the tight waist, but you hear that noise. That's not your imagination. He really is putting Willie Warren to the mat. And they come out of bounds right in front of us, Dave.
That's what Willie was trying to do, get out of bounds and stop it. He's got 4 seconds to work with. Does he have enough time for an escape?
Both wrestlers look very, very strong. He has time, but the way Trevor Ernie's been controlling him, I don't know. Oh, he got out. Look at that quickness.
That's why I asked that, Dale, because he did demonstrate outstanding quickness.
Yes, he did.
In this first period. So in the final 4 seconds, he comes out with a point. And on the flip,
that's got to give him a little bit of a lift after being taken down.
There's a fellow you don't want to mess with. Bob Backlund, the Worldwide Wrestling Federation champion. I don't know if he is presently the champion, but he has been.
I won't argue with him if he says he's the champion.
You better call him champ.
He's the champion, that's right.
Wrestled collegiately at North Dakota State, was an NCAA champion, and now on the pro circuit. He's here to present awards, by the way. This is really shaping up as the most outstanding match of the night.
Real physical, really physical. Trevor Ernie on top, taking Warren to the mat constantly, and boy, he just is real strong.
Well, they're still not out of bounds yet. The official looking right over them, and now they are.
And Willie Warren has not had a chance again to use that quickness. And he is the favorite, that man.
Willie Warren got to the finals with an overtime win over David Cummings.
We got a caution here for red.
Earlier on, Willie Warren defeated Dan Finnerty 5-0, and then David Stiles 14-2.
You see, Warren tried the speed there, got up. Look at the strength on Ernie. He's trying to get a 2-on-1. He's holding Warren's right arm with his left. He's going to elevate him, take him out of bounds. Whoa, boy, talking about a physical match. And they get the crowd right into this one.
Trevor Ernie won his first match over Mike Pizziata, 17-3. He pinned James Tizio in 3 minutes, and then decision Steve Bradish. The most outstanding wrestler, Section 3, and Ernie won that one 10-1. Perhaps an injury on the bottom there, as Willie Warren let out his side.
A lot of frustration there, I'm sure. Trevor Ernie just able to control him down to 55 seconds in the second period. They changed the mat. The mats that they had been using before. This mat a little bit thicker to absorb the punishment when your body meets the mat. But I'll tell you what, he's really going to town on Mr. Warren.
We're in the second period at 119 pounds.
Oh, we're going to see the assistant referee made a call that there was a hand lock by Trevor Ernie, so that's going to cost Ernie 1 point, I believe. Yeah, 2 apiece.
Explain that, Dale.
Well, you can't lock the hands on the body when they're down on the mat, when your opponent's on the mat. And Warren was flat on the mat and trying to move, and to keep him down, he did a hand lock, held the hands together, body lock. They're illegal. You can't do it.
Is that accidental on the part of Ernie?
All they got to do is touch, and then, yeah, I'm sure it was.
Trevor looking to regain control. Willie Warren heading for the out of bounds. We're tied at 2, half a minute left, period 2.
Now, a lot of discussion about Willie on the bottom. Trevor Ernie doing what he has done. Nice crossface. Look at the crossface there. You can see him how he brings his hand across Willie's face. Less than 10, down to 5 seconds now. It's all tied up.
And the end of period number 2, all tied up at 2. Well, if the first period was physical,
this should get even worse or better, depending on how you look at it.
I was going to say the second period was war.
Pretty evenly matched in terms of physical skills. We give the nod in quickness to Willie Warren. We saw him use it once to his advantage for an escape. And then the locking hands, he picked up another point.
Well, what's more important now in period number 3, strength or speed?
Well, right now it's kind of how much you got left. And you see right there, you could see the strength as Warren picked up Trevor Ernie, took him back to the mat, but he's got to get some back points. And he can only hold that ride for a little while. He's got that leg up.
Now the momentum seems to have swung in the direction of Willie Warren.
Well, they're just going to warn Willie for stalling. Warn him for stalling. You can't just take that and hold it, which he did. He's got that 2-on-1 on Trevor, and he's got his 2 hands, 2 arms against Trevor's 1, and was able to break him down. And what Trevor's trying to do is rip those arms off, get hand control, and get away from Warren.
Approaching 1 minute in this third period. We're still tied at 2 apiece.
Having a lot of trouble controlling him. They're going to call, they give 1 point to they give 1 point to Trevor Ernie. Stalling. 3-2 that's going to be. They've got 54 seconds left. Trevor Ernie on the bottom.
Gives up the escape.
Yes, he does. Four to 2 the score. Trevor Ernie on top, 30 seconds. And he's going right after Willie Warren. They may call a stale. Yes, they do, right there. 21 seconds left, stalemate. Nobody can advance their position. So now this is it.
Needs the takedown. Willie
Takedown
Warren
to tie.
in the green. He tries to use the leg to bring him down. And they stop him with 11 seconds now.
Now some people complaining that Trevor Ernie was going off the mat. He goes right downstairs, does Willie Warren. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's going to do it.
An exhausted Trevor Ernie and a frustrated Willie Warren. Warren losing it on a stalling point.
Boy, lots of bruises as Trevor Ernie, very, very strong. Main Endwell, Section 4. Quite a representative for the whole section and did a nice job. State champion.
Section 5, Joe Hibbert.
So that does it now at 119 pounds as you look at some of the coaches and the officials who are literally at mat side here at the Onondaga County War Memorial. They've set up the basketball court underneath the mats, which provides a little bit of a springiness. Certainly takes away some of the hardness of the concrete floor.
But as you could tell in that last match, Dave, when you really hit those mats, it still isn't really all that springy. But there's Gene Mills, a man who knows a lot about mats and how hard you can put somebody into them.
Another guy you wouldn't want to mess with on the streets.
No.
126-pound class.
Now at 126 pounds, we've got Darren Cummings, a senior out of Smithtown East,
32 wins, no losses.
against the all-time winningest wrestler individually in New York State history, Marty King of Canandaigua, now a senior, and Marty looking to repeat as a New York State champion. From the Wrestling King family of Canandaigua.
Should be an interesting matchup. Lots of times I saw Dan Hunt and some of the other wrestlers, some of the greats from this area wrestle, and some of their matches in the States were not all that close in terms of their ability. A lot of people thought that they would really go to town, but lots of times they had close matches, so we'll see if it happens in this match.
Marty King en route to the finals has had 2 pins and a superior decision at 22-4.
That's I was going to say. However, Marty King seems to break the mold when it comes to that because...
Well, the introduction of Marty King brought out a huge round of applause.
If he wins, he would certainly be my candidate for most outstanding wrestler. A lot of schools looking at Marty King.
King is on the left. Still on the left there, Cummings on the right. Neither wrestler has lost this year. 68 wins between them.
And Cummings is 102-15, so he's no slouch. There he's got the leg, going to try to keep him in. King does, yes, he'll pick up 2. Takedown. Takedown and a nosebleed. And King was bleeding right on the arm of Darren Cummings. So they're wiping off Darren Cummings' arm. No injury there, Mrs. Cummings. That's the opponent's blood.
Marty King had a brother who was also a state champion a few years ago, who had probably the most appropriate name any wrestler has ever had.
That's right.
Matt King.
The best. This is the kind of one where, if you've ever been an official, Dave, this is the one where you hope that somebody like Cummings doesn't go out and put King on his back, and you're the one that has to go down and say you're pinned. Right there you see that King, there's the injury, but this is that tough time when you don't want to see that happen, of course. You'd rather have him just go out and not make any mistakes, but we have seen people get caught. Some of the better wrestlers can make that one mistake and get beat by someone who is not their equal.
All right, the repairs the cotton in the nostril of Marty King, who's on top now and leading by a score of 2-0.
King resumes where he left off. Tried to kick through kind of a Granby roll. Didn't work. King in control. Looks like, he gives up a point. A little sloppy, maybe. But King is very, very confident as we go down to 1 minute left in this period. One of the things the wrestlers don't want to do is make that one stupid mistake. It's bad enough when you're going up against such good competition, but I don't want to do something where I'm going to get caught and put on my back. But you've got to be aggressive, and that's one thing I would note that most wrestlers, as we get a stalemate call, most wrestlers who are successful at this level, Dave, are generally the ones that are the most aggressive. Now, that doesn't always happen, but generally that's what happens.
37 seconds remaining here in period number 1. Again, it is the bloody nose of Marty King. And now they'll have to wipe the blood from his nose as well as from the mat. Dale, is there any limit on how often the match can be stopped?
Good question. I've never seen it happen, and I've seen them stop a lot for bloody noses. I'm going to put cotton in that side again.
Is there an injury time limit?
Yeah, the nosebleed does not count as an injury time. If it were a strain or something or a sprained wrist, then you have a certain amount of time to come back, 2 minutes. But in this, there isn't. You can have as many bloody noses as you wanted to.
Darren Cummings with his back to you. He is in the blue. Marty King wearing the purple of Section 5.
Marty King, one of those people who has been in this since he was in junior high school, Dave, and that can you imagine being an 8th grader and coming in and wrestling 12th graders and doing all that well? And Marty King certainly did in the past. I believe that when he was in 8th grade, he took a second in the States.
We're wrestling at 126 pounds now, and that's the end of period number 1, a period stopped twice on account of nosebleeds suffered by Marty King. And again, he's showing the claret flowing from the nostril.
You notice he's got good height, too, a little bit taller than his opponent, Darren Cummings. Sometimes you'll see that as a advantage, and sometimes it isn't. King moves quickly from the bottom, doesn't get out right away, but he makes a good, substantial, positive first move. And he is countered very, very well by his opponent, Darren Cummings, who just picked him up, took the leg out, and brought him down to the mat. So only a 2-1 lead for King. This may be one of those matches where the man who is the overwhelming favorite does not actually overwhelm his opponent. They can't, I think he's got blood coming from the other nostril, but you don't want to put cotton up both. It's going to create all sorts of breathing problems.
Marty King is wrestling in the state championships for the 5th year in a row. As an 8th grader, he was 2nd at 91 pounds. As a 9th grader, he was 3rd at 91 pounds. Then as a 10th grader, he was 4th at 112 pounds. Last year, he became a champion at 119 pounds, and here he is now at 126.
And he is trying to get away from Darren Cummings, but Cummings doing a good job, takes him out of bounds. 1:13 left in the second period, and King only up by 1 point, 2-1. So
now he's got to tie his shoe.
Give Darren Cummings, this could be one of the longest matches of the night. Give Darren Cummings credit, he's doing a superb job, but he's been undefeated this year. He's got over 100 wins, he's got 102, so as we say, when you get up to this level, you got no patsies. Referee, apparently, the whistle didn't blow correctly, so we're going to get a stop again.
This match being conducted at a staccato pace.
Cobwebs could form on the cameraman if they don't. But, oh, nice move. Head to half, a little risky, and King is going to shrug it off and maybe come out.
Does he reverse it?
Yes, he does now. Thought he might go for the cradle, but King picks up 2 on the reversal. They're both standing, Cummings and King.
A little more breathing room now for King.
King gained control. They're going to go out of bounds. But Cummings being very, very aggressive. And once again, King's nose. Now Cummings' nose is bleeding also. You know, they used to put that cotton up the nose, and now they leave a bit of it hanging out because wrestlers get the wind going and they suck those up right into the nostrils. So they trying to be very careful with how they do that.
Let's see if we can catch that last action one more time. Here it is.
He got the takedown when he was standing. You can gain control like that. You don't have to bring him to the mat. He got the points, and then they went out of bounds. So it's 4-1. And now they're working on King right there, trying to stop the bleeding in his nose, applying pressure to the bridge of the nose. Possibly maybe got a little fracture, took a shot on it. Broken noses are not that unusual in wrestling. Did you ever break a nose, Dave?
Did you ever take a good look at it, Dale?
Yeah, I was going to say that the cure is worse than the break, you know, but I don't know if we have that right now, but we certainly have both men with nose problems. Now he's got it up both nostrils, so now he's going to be breathing through his mouth.
Well, Darren Cummings has one nostril plugged up. Here's a good look at Cummings, and right behind him is Marty King.
It's like some sort of a costume. All right, now King on top, in control, but he's going to lose it momentarily. 1 point, yes, Cummings right back in at 4-2.
We're in the second period, under half a minute remaining. Marty King leads Darren Cummings 4-2 at 126 pounds.
see the clock winding down, 15. Cummings trying a little bit of muscle. Looking at the clock, that can be disastrous sometimes. Both men look pretty good on their feet.
The end of the second now, and it's a 4-2 lead for this man, Marty King of Canandaigua, and he'll be on top.
It's funny when we were talking about, people would say, my gracious, this has got to be, with all those wins and stuff, he ought to just go out and pin everybody, but it doesn't happen that way. A lot of those wins, I'm sure, have been 1- and 2-point wins. Though he certainly has gotten his way into this final rather easily. A little bit of trouble. He got a little bit too high. He's going to lose points.
In danger of being taken down.
He's going to give up. He started on top. He started in control. Oh, good move by King. Because he was on top. And it looked like he might be reversed.
Marty King, who pinned Willie Parrow in a minute 42, Lee Stalters in a minute 53, and then 22-4 over Peter Sartori.
Definitely a different match against Cummings, as Darren Cummings is down by only 2 points. They're going to call a stalemate.
Darren Cummings with a pin in 3:59 over Jim Washington, a 25-3 decision over Keith Pappas, and a 10-2 win over Annabelle Neves.
So neither one really pressed to get here. That's Cummings on the bottom. Nice shot there. A good picture of Cummings. And the man who came in on his back, the man we've been talking about, King. So Marty King on top, 115, and he will be a state champ for a second time. But Cummings has got a lot to say about it. Hand control. He's got a hand lock. You saw Cummings call that. Cummings gestured that he had his hands locked. He's going to be up. It'll be tied. One for an escape, one for a hand lock. That's 4-4.
That came about awfully quick.
Well, he sat out, and he couldn't get away, and he looked down, and he saw that King had his... They're going to start the injury clock now for this nose. They're starting it for King.
It's not bleeding, the official is saying. It is not bleeding. That's why they're starting that injury clock.
See him pointing at the hands right there? He said, there you go. That's an illegal hold. And now watch him get an escape. That gave him 2 points. One for the illegal body lock, one for the escape. And now they started the injury clock because they said, as you said, David, it's not bleeding, so it doesn't count as a bloody nose. He's going to have to take his injury time.
And as Marty King got some liquid refreshment, spit it out, and he did not spit out any blood. So apparently the bleeding has stopped. We're tied at 4 now. 50 seconds to go, period number 3.
Good match. Oh, nice ankle pick.
King fought it off.
Cummings went right for that ankle. Both men good on their feet. This should be exciting. 38 seconds, 37.
You don't want to see a stalling point awarded here.
No, I don't think you will. Neither man seems to be in a position to stall, although King got the leg. They're trading positions. No warnings yet.
23 seconds left.
King sorely pressed. There he goes. Boy, he got in on that. No points awarded.
15 seconds.
Yes!
There it is. Cummings, look back at the clock. It's under 10 seconds now. They're both looking at the clock. It's over.
That's going to give Marty King his second state championship. But I'll tell you what, Darren Cummings from Smithtown really battled him all the way.
Standing ovation for Marty King as well as Darren Cummings.
I was just going to say, I think that's a standing ovation for both men. Darren Cummings, one heck of a wrestling match. But give Marty King credit, he did what he had to do. Under 10 seconds left, he shot a takedown and got it. And you see, this is it right there. There's the desperation move, but it was too late. What a super match.
So we've wrapped up wrestling now through the 126-pound weight class. Still, we've got 8 weight classifications to go. Dale, what about the team standings before this championship round?
Well, right now, Section 5, before that last match, which Marty King won, and we'll give them some more points, we're in the lead by 195. over Section 11's 181. Section 6 is dropped because they only have that one wrestler in there. Section 4 is fourth with 146, and Section 3 down at 137. So right now we're seeing whether Section 11 and Section 5 will probably make it a two-team race.
We're set now for action at 132 pounds. Here's Joe Plant out of Brentwood High School on Long Island, Section 11. He is a senior. And his opponent tonight will be from East Rochester, also a senior representing Section 5, Tim Quinn. Action now at 132 pounds. Quinn is in the circle, and now he's on the right, opposed by Joe Plant. The officials in this match will be Tom Hart and Al Fitz.
We hear the announcements, and they give us Quinn's stats. 117 wins, 33 losses, and 1 tie. Plant, the favorite, was second in 112 last year. And you notice as these kids get a little older, of course, their weight classes go up a little bit. But Plant from Brentwood High School, Section 11. With the knee brace on that right knee. Ooh.
Quinn brought him down.
Quinn's got that head control, tries to throw the head one way and come back and pick the ankle. Look at the head control. Look at the strength in Quinn. Watch what he's trying to do. He's trying to throw the head one way and come back and grab the ankle. Yep, does it again.
He tried it 3 times and he hasn't gotten it yet.
Must be his favorite move. As we said, one thing to watch for is the man generally the most aggressive is the one who does the best if he doesn't get sloppy. Right now, Quinn is being more aggressive in the number of attempts he's made. Plant just kind of a half-hearted takedown attempt. Some wrestlers, Dave, you'll find are counter wrestlers. They let other people make the moves and they pick up their points by countering. I don't know enough about these two to say that that's the way Plant would be, but definitely is not quite as aggressive on his feet as Quinn.
Trying to get control is Quinn. Instead, he finds himself in the grasp now of Plant.
Right. So Plant lets him make the move and just counters what he does and picks up the 2 points.
Perfect illustration of what you were talking about.
You know, it's not it's a question of style, too. And right now, Quinn is in trouble. Plant trying to get the leg in as we come down to 15 seconds left in this.
Plant is on top. He's in the darker, the blue uniforms.
He's trying to get that cradle. He's got the... trying to crank him over. Watch him try to bring him straight back, but he won't get it before this period ends.
End of period 1 at a 2-0 lead for Joe Plant off the fine counter move that Dale Drypolcher described for you.
Well, they got 4 minutes left, and Quinn, very aggressive, now has gone down by a score of 2-0. Joe Plant, the man on top. And as we look at the numbers on Plant, he's undefeated this year, another one in that Century Club, 101 wins, 11 losses, 1 tie.
Plant had a bye into the quarterfinal round, then he defeated Robbie Allison 14-2 and took Bevilacqua 5-4.
Get a chance, we'll talk a little bit how they do that. In most tournaments, they have seedings. We're going to get a potentially dangerous. Yeah, I thought they have seedings where the top wrestler will probably in the preliminary match will wrestle the worst wrestler or get a bye. But in this, they're called blind seedings. They just draw them out. They try to put the best wrestlers in opposite brackets. In other words, there's a bottom bracket and an upper bracket. They don't want to put the 2 best guys right against each other in the beginning. But they are blind seeding, so you're going to get the best wrestlers sometimes have a preliminary match. It'd be very, very difficult to try to seed these. And right now, Plant is trying to plant Quinn. He'd like to get that cradle in. Working now from his feet. Good leverage. He works the crossface. Good. And, of course, Quinn tries to take Plant's arm and just roll him. There's the cradle attempt. Try to bring the head to the knee. Good leverage by Plant, but you see the counter there by Quinn is to put that outside leg out as far as you can, make a wide base so he can't tip you. There you go. He managed to break the base down, but he won't be able to pin him in this, but he'll pick up his points. I say he won't be able to pin him because you can see his arm is under Quinn's arm. So although he'll get points, it would be very difficult to pin him. So again, it appears to be a Plant kind of a counter wrestler, pick up his back points and just ride you. And he's doing that to Quinn now. And you can hear them saying to Plant, don't let him go out. Score 2-0. Seems like it would be a lot more. So Quinn, 5-0. It seems like it'd be a lot more, but Quinn has got his work cut out for him.
Now Joe Plant up on top on Tim Quinn. 25 seconds remaining, second period. You're watching wrestling at 132 pounds in the New York State High School Championships here at the War Memorial.
Down to 10 seconds. Less. No points. No back points. 5-0 it remains in favor of Joe Plant.
Well, after our last two matches involving Trevor Ernie and Willie Warren and Marty King and Darren Cummings, this one is somewhat of a letdown in terms of intensity and action.
Again, it's one of those questions of style. When you get into the upper weight, sometimes you may see the leg. You see him put the leg in there. Quinn, now he's behind by 5. He must think he can get some back points off of this. Try the guillotine. He's got a split leg ride there, scissors. But it takes a lot of time to work this and set it up. And he doesn't have a lot of time. And even if he gets him on his back, it'll only give him 3 points. So Quinn doing a pretty good job, but of course, Joe Plant is in control. And you see, he just is kind of stalling on the bottom. He may get warned here eventually. Oh, there, he's got the arm. Quinn's got the arm. Yeah, he warned him. He warned Plant. Plant, that's his style. He'll stay down there. He'll even give up a point. He got a lot of time.
And leading 5-0 as well.
Yep, and now Quinn, we're going to call a stalemate. Stalemate where no one can advance their position. But you can see the style of Plant as he got ahead, and now he's just going to kind of cruise, put her on automatic pilot. And, of course, the onus is now on Quinn to get some back points. And if he's a leg man and does it, it makes it sometimes a little bit more difficult. You see him way out over there. Look at the weight. Quinn throws the weight way out, trying to leverage that arm over to get the back points. But he's just being countered by Plant, who will probably give up a point here in a minute for stalling. With 35 seconds left or so, 35. And assistant referee talking. Plant making a pretty good show of doing something, but they're going to call another stalemate. No stalling points given. 23 seconds. As you said, Dave, the intensity's there. It's just that the style doesn't get a lot of action.
This is another match involving Section 11 against Section 5, and right now 11 has it in hand.
Last year, everybody thought Section 5 was going to win, and Section 11 snuck up on them in the final rounds. This is not an instant replay. This is the same thing we've been seeing. As we get a nice close-up shot, and Plant has not given up a point yet for stalling.
The crowd really doesn't like this.
But they don't rate you by excitement. And Plant, Joe Plant from Brentwood High School, the senior, who was undefeated this year, will remain so as he defeats Tim Quinn. So we're up. That was 132 pounds. On tap, we'll be coming up at 138.
Sixth place,
As we look at the standings,
High School Peter
Section
Santori.
5, as we said before the last match, had 195 points. Section 11, 181.
Annabelle
And
D.
Brentwood is in Section 11, so Joe Plant picked up some team points.
Fourth place, Section 4,
So
Jim
we'll try to update you at the end. We will tell you which section predominated.
Third place, Section 8.
Incidentally, there used to be just 11 sections, but they've added the PSAL, which is the Public School Athletic League out of New York City, and there's a Catholic high school league. So there's actually 13 different sections of the state represented.
However, neither the PSAL nor Section 1 nor Section 10 or the Catholic High School League had any finalists in the meet here tonight that you're watching.
The Catholic League had 2 people in the semis, which is the best they've ever done. So it takes a while, but they're getting better. Both those schools are.
All right, we move now to 138 pounds, and you'll be seeing Tom Becker against Mike Arena. Tom Becker represents Section 3 from Beaver River in the Frontier League. He's at 138 pounds, and he is a senior. Mike Arena is from Mepham on Long Island, a senior, representing Section number 8, 138 pounds, Mike Arena.
Well, this class, this 138-pound class, is very well balanced, so they didn't know who was going to show up, although Arena might rate as a little bit of a favorite.
This year's record, 36 wins and no losses.
Arena's 32-0, 105-14-0, so he's in that. I'm talking about their overall records for all their years in high school, but you see this year's records, while Becker is 85-14-2. So
And neither man has lost this year. One will lose tonight.
Yep. And if they have to go to overtime and referees' criteria, it'll be interesting.
Arena on the offensive picks up 2 as he brings down Tom Becker and works that half.
Becker on top from Section 3 from Beaver River. And Arena, the favorite that we mentioned, is on the bottom, got the blue headgear on. Nice camera shot there by our cameraman, John Ford. So, Arena down by 2 rather quickly as we got 1:25 left in this period. Period number 1. And we'll see the style here. A little bit of leg. Missed the leg. 1 point for Arena as the leg, Becker tried to get the leg in. He missed it. 2-1.
Mike Arena, by the way, won the state championships last year at 126 pounds, so he's come up now
Couple
2
of weight classes, yeah.
And he's high up in the air in the grasp of Tom Becker.
Watch it, Becker. Got a little sloppy. He's real strong, but sometimes those strength moves can get you in trouble. And he is now in a little bit of trouble as Arena's going to take him and pick up some back points. Or does he?
They're out of bounds.
No back points. So the score is 3-2.
Now Becker can put those knee pads to good use. He's on the bottom.
He's got a brace on that right knee beneath the pad. Right away, Arena throws legs. You see that left leg of his dropped in. And there's the brace we were talking about. So Arena on top in the green, working on Becker from Section 3 on the bottom in the goal. Got the leg in. This will generally makes for slow wrestling.
10 seconds left in period number 1.
Arena really throwing himself over, trying to crank Becker over. He's got that arm tight. Nice move.
No points.
He had the arm locked through pump handle and just leveraged him over. Boy, that was a good move by Arena. He didn't even use the leg. Got rid of that and just strength and agility, but no points. Second period now, just beginning.
And the escape. So we're tied up at 3.
Oh, boy, Becker got caught sleeping there. No points yet, though. just takes the head and tries to drive it to the mat as a counter, but Arena trying to, there he goes, got his head out, pick up 2. 5-3. So Arena on top by 2. Becker struggling to get out. He gets up rather easily. And they're going to go out of bounds. So what started out as a exhibition of legs is now taking on a little bit more action. There's a good shot of Arena. Arena giving up a little bit of height to Becker. He just tried, see him try to break those joints down and pull him straight back through, which he accomplished and broke him down. And try that cradle. He got a leg in, going to roll him through. Arena really giving him a workout. Good with the legs, good strength. 45 seconds left in this second period. Right back where, yep, he's got that arm through the crotch. Old pump handle, and he's hasn't given any points yet. No points. Score remains 5-3 in favor of Arena. Throws the leg again. You can see the clock under 20. Try the guillotine, keep the leg. Now he gets rid of the leg, goes right back to that pump handle, takes the arm through. I like that move.
Becker throwing a lot of moves at Arena, throwing a lot of moves at Becker, that is.
Becker trying not to give up any points. We'll see if he gave up any.
And the end of period number 2.
You know, for all those moves, they look great, but he hasn't picked up any points. He's thrown it 3 times, has not managed to give any back points. You can tell there's some fans from Long Island who don't like that decision.
Underway now at period number 3. Becker is in the yellow, Arena in the green. And we're at the Onondaga County War Memorial. Dave Cohen, Dale Drypolcher.
2 points. And Peterson gives Arena, oh boy, he's got Becker in real trouble there. Becker kicks out of trouble, he's off his back. Just another Peterson. He's picked up a lot of points, Arena has, in this last period. Now Becker now gets out of it. And they're going to straighten the score out here. Illegal hold, I believe. We're going to get 1 point. Sorting this out, 11-3, I believe the score is. Arena's on top.
Well, he threw a lot of moves in the second period, got nothing out of it, but he sure made up for it in a hurry here.
Yep.
And looking for more. Coming up on 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining, and it is now a commanding lead of 11-3 for Mike Arena.
Arena is still putting himself in danger, but of course at the same time he's bringing Becker over to his back.
Now just a minute away from winning his second straight championship.
Picks up 2 there, 13-3. He's trying to force that cradle, one escape, he lets up Becker.
Goes low.
He really gets that left arm out, got the takedown, let Becker up, and then went right after him and sunk that up to his elbow. Hasn't gotten any points for it yet, but he will there. He's going to dump him. 2 takedown.
15-4. So far, this is the most one-sided final of the night.
Going to get an escape, sit out, turn in. But as you said, this is definitely one-sided. Arena in real control. Well, you got to give him credit. You got to give Becker credit. He tried a 5-point move there. He tried to hook him and snap him down. It didn't work. Well, what did he have to lose?
And the Long Island lad has won his second straight championship. Mike Arena wears the big smile as he defeats Tom Becker handily by a score of 17-5.
Impressive win for Mike, the senior from Mepham High School on Long Island. So Section 8 and Section 3, two sections that were actually not really in much contention, clashed. Section 8 the winner. This is coming up 145 pounds.
Still to come, events at 155, 167, 177, 215, and then 250 pounds.
Got Barrett from Section 7.
Here's John Sir at 145 pounds. He's a senior at Spencerport High School, and he represents Section 5. His opponent is John Barrett from Peru, New York. He's a senior, the lone representative of Section 7.
Most
and
people,
here's Barrett.
I was just going to say, most people did not give Barrett much of a chance to make it to the finals. But he certainly, of course, fooled them. He's highly regarded. He's 26-0, but they don't really have the level of competition up in Peru that some of the other schools do. But he's here, and he's unbeaten.
And he's waiting now for John Sir. Here we go now at 145 pounds. Barrett in the gray, Sure is in the purple. Here's the records. Barrett undefeated. Sure has lost twice in 35 matches.
Talk about aggressive. We've got a little face-slapping contest here. This will bring the fans to their feet.
John Barrett looks a little bit unorthodox.
He's the kind of guy that can really give somebody trouble, but they both seem to have the same kind of style. What you don't want to do is change your style for this particular match. You want to go out and do what has gotten you here. And of course, Sure and Barrett realize that. And apparently they're both brawlers. .118 left in this first period. In the gray with the 7 on it is Barrett, while Sure is in the purple, Section 5.
John Barrett looks like a real tough cookie, doesn't he, Dave?
Yes, he does. He's going to make you earn everything you get. And as you said, Dave, he is the only representative of Section 7. Now, Peru is a real fine wrestling school. Northern New York.
Look at those heads.
Yeah, they're really going at it. Just about 40 seconds left. There we go. In this first period, no points yet, no score. Barrett trying to drag him by, grab a leg, doesn't work. They go back to the center.
For John Surs in the darker uniform, this is really got to be frustrating. Sometimes an unorthodox opponent, no matter what the sport, can really make you look bad and make life difficult.
Well, they both were warned for stalling, so that might make him a little more concerned. You don't like to have that happen this early in the match. Sure, they're going to get a takedown if they stay in bounds. No points yet. Now we're going to get it. Two on the sideline, and he brings Barrett back in. They go out of bounds. So Sure picks up 2. I believe he gave him 2 points. Yes, he did.
8 seconds, first period remaining. They'll start from the stand-up.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh. No points. They say no points. Well, one of the scores flipped down 2 points. I thought he gave him 2 points. Ah, well. Zip, zip, as the period ends. You can't even talk about it. I thought he had it on the...
That's Barrett's coach. He's pleased.
Sure.
Sur's coach jumped about 3 feet off the ground when he thought his man had been awarded the 2 points.
You get a look at the concentration of Sur. Oh, and he gets up and out. No question about that. He's got one there. So he's shown himself to be pretty quick. See how he is on his feet. He almost had a takedown, wasn't given to him. But he's up now 1-0. £145. No pins cut, and we probably won't see any. And you hear John Sewer's coach saying, we got to get a takedown, we got to get a takedown. And Barrett's coach saying the same thing. Shoot, shoot. There's Barrett in the gray. Number 7 on his back. Sewer in the purple. Who's now got his feet in, trying to get around behind Barrett to pick up 2 points. 1 minute in the second period. Sewer almost got it, got that leg back there, trying to scoop the leg out, see if he can get a takedown. He may have it. In a second, you see his coaches. People yelling for a stalemate. May get one in another second, but they don't want to take away any chance that Sewer might have it getting the takedown, but they could. And he's going to break him down. He's going to pick up 2 in a second. He's got it. There's the takedown for you. 3-zip. And now Sewer working on top as they head right for our microphone.
Barrett is incredibly strong, but the technique appears to be winning out on behalf of John Sewer.
So far, you're absolutely right, Dave. 11 seconds left.
Time now for Barrett to escape.
Yeah, you got to have a good move from the bottom. And 3-point lead is not quite good enough yet to kind of sit back and relax, so I'm sure Sewer will continue to move. We're going to get a caution because somebody moved. You're going to caution Green. He's going to caution Barrett for not assuming correct starting position, moving too soon. You see the score right there, 3-0. And Barrett does not look like he's going to get anything this period, as the period will end right now. We're going to start the third period with Barrett will be down, Sewer on top, and on top score-wise too, 3-0.
This is action now at 145 pounds, third period beginning.
Barrett makes a strong move, but he just can't seem to get away from Sewer, who locks him up. But with only a 3-point lead, you don't want to make any stupid mistakes. And Sewer, however, on top, just keeps wrestling. I like that. He knows that 3 points is not enough. He's going to try to get him on his back. We're down to 1 minute 30 seconds left in this period right now. Barrett on the bottom. And he may get warned for stalling.
Official appears to be very close to issuing that warning.
Yep. And of course, Sewer on top has got to try for a pin. See the counter there. You see him pull his elbows in. Yeah, I was just going to say, Barrett really pulled his elbow in. But they give 1 point to Green, I believe. Yes. So they don't call Sewer. They don't call Barrett. They call it on Sewer and give him 1 point. So Barrett is now down by only 2 points. That's a referee's decision. It seemed to me it could have gone either way. Barrett seemed to be pulling those elbows in. He may make it close. He may get an escape. Doesn't have it yet.
Let's see if he can use that brute strength now.
He's going to get it, I think. Yep. 3-2 now. 3-2. So Barrett right back in this, 34 seconds. He was fourth in the States as a sophomore, Barrett was, so he knows what he's doing. He's been here before. 23 seconds. He's down by one, the man in gray. Sewer's still trying for a takedown. All right, trying to control the head now and shoot low. Ooh.
7 seconds left.
And that's going to give the match to Sewer. You know, you see how aggressive he was, though? If he'd missed that, he could have been in trouble, but he knew that that's what you have to do. He had to control him. So John Sewer picks up a 1-point win over John Barrett.
And he congratulates John Barrett, acknowledging Barrett's superb effort.
Sure.
And it becomes a 3-2 win for John Sewer. We'll be back with more of the New York State High School Championships right after this.
Hi, I'm Dick McPherson. It takes a commitment of the entire community to attain a top quality football program. The people of Syracuse have given us that. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Orange Pack members and all our fans for their great support. We need your help and your loyalty for this program to succeed. Thanks, Syracuse, for all you do for SU athletics.
We're back at the Onondaga County War Memorial. The wrestling action moves along now up to 155 pounds. And we're getting set for the match between Ron LaSorsa and Brian Kurlander. There's a look at Kurlander. LaSorsa out of Section 11, Bayshore High School on Long Island. And Brian Kurlander, a senior from Brighton High School in the Rochester area. We're set to go.
Bayshore High School, Section 11, Ron LaSorsa.
Kurlander had a tough match against Jeff Merritt from Section 3, 6-5. And one of the preliminary matches, Jeff Merritt was a man who was favored, or at least favored to make it into the finals. LaSorsa had a 10-5 and a 7-6 match, so Kurlander's tough. Brighton High School.
Kurlander was trying to go low at the beginning of the match here, and LaSorsa would not let him in.
Another one of those 11-5 confrontations we mentioned earlier. They're going head-to-head here. No points yet.
Down goes LaSorsa, 2 points awarded to Kurlander.
Kurlander throws legs. Got it in. As we come down to a minute. And LaSorsa assumes the position, which is to keep your elbows in so you don't give him that arm for a guillotine. Scott Copeland is our official. Nice shot there of LaSorsa. Controls the leg. Out of bounds.
Kurlander appears to be the stronger of the two wrestlers.
Should be interesting. Kurlander was everybody's choice to make it to the finals. As I said, when you get up this far, just about anybody can make it there. Nice move. Forward roll, kicked out. LaSorsa picks up 1 point.
A year ago, Kurlander was 5th at 155, and LaSorsa was 6th at 145.
A lot of experience.
On your feet, let's go! Let's slow you down, come on!
Pick up that sound as they hit the mat.
Yeah, Ron.
2-1, Kurlander leading LaSorsa.
It's move and counter, period ends. They flipped a little cardboard disc to see who gets choice to be on top or bottom, and Kurlander is going to be down, and La Sorsa will be on top.
Underway now, period number 2. La Sorsa on top is down by a point to Kurlander. Good escape try by Kurlander.
Got to have movement all the time. And as you go up and wait, boy, the strength really goes up. See, he tried that offside cradle.
There's the escape now.
Lost
It's
it.
3-1. Kurlander in the lead.
Both men good upper body strength, but not a lot of action. Down to just about a minute.
Brian Kurlander's route to the finals, a 6-5 win over Jeff Merritt of Section 3. A pin in 4.5 minutes of Mark Taylor, and a 5-2 decision over Lee Cobb. La Sorsa got here with a first-round bye, then he defeated Chris Hooker by a 10-5 count, beat Reynaldo Garcia 7-6.
And he just got warned for stalling, moved his foot backwards out of the starting position. La Sorsa, Section 11 there to the right of your screen, the red headgear.
By the way, in our previous match involving John Barrett of Peru from Section 7, he defeated Section 3's Andy Rice in overtime. Rice had scored a pair of pins to get to the semis.
Rice was one of the favorites. As we go down to 15 seconds in the second period.
So far this period, only an escape by Kurlander now with 11 seconds remaining.
Pounder, second period comes to an end. The crowd hasn't quite gotten into this one.
Coming up next at 167, Peter Zykowski against Jason Mars. Then we'll have Chris Shojan and Mike Himes at 177, Jeff Ellis and Vinny Altobrando at 215, then Randy Morrison of Section 3 and Larry Simons at 250 pounds.
Picked up where they left off as Kurlander in control. And ahead, 3-1. Throws the legs. And he continues to work on La Sorsa, trying to get the arm up for a guillotine, trying to get it around the head. You can see it there. There it comes. Nice shot right there. He's not going to be able to get it. Tries to reach back for the head, bring him, snap him down, pick up some back points. That doesn't work. The score remains the same, 3-1. As we're going to come down in just a second to just about 1 minute. 1 minute left in this match. La Sorsa seems to be grabbing some air on the bottom. Yeah, they're going to warn Green. That's La Sorsa. He's been warned.
There's Bob Backlund, the pro wrestler, in the background on the left of your screen.
He looks like he's an archetypal pro wrestler. Point was picked up there. It's now 4-1. They gave him a point for the stalling. So La Sorsa on the bottom, down by 3, and you can see that what he's trying to do to that arm, trying to get the guillotine, take it back. Does he get it? Well, the arm slops out. He has a chance to get some back points. Does Kurlander. 4-1. 16 seconds. So Brian Kurlander from Brighton High School, Rochester area, Section 5. Undefeated this year, 89-8. Second in the States at 155 last year. Has a real good chance to win it all this year. His opponent, Ronnie Lasorsa from Bayshore, who was 28-2 this year, is down by 3 points.
And only 16 seconds remaining now.
16 seconds is a lot of time. We saw what can be done in 4, but Lasorsa does not seem to be that kind of movement from the bottom. We're under 10. He gets an escape.
And that's the end, and here is a jubilant Brian Kurlander, who has become the New York State champion at 155 pounds. A man who came here with a mission, and it is now mission accomplished for Brian Kurlander, who wins it at 155 pounds.
Hey, look at the team competition, the sectionals. Section 5 is on top with 203 points. Section 11, 185. Section 6 still in third, but of course Section 6 does not have that many people in the finals. As a matter of fact, they only have one, and that's at 215 pounds. So Section 6 is not going to be able to do too much. Look at some of the faces here. There's Zakowski from Pittsford High School, Section 5. Zakowski, and the other 167-pounder, Jason Morris, out of Burnt Hills High School up near Albany, from Section 2. And this should be an interesting match. Morris, 37-0 this year. He's only an 11th grader. While his opponent, Zakowski, is 80-15 overall, 35-3 this year. 167 pounds. And we're just about set. This is Section 2, way down this year in terms of place. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8th place at this particular point. Kind of unusual as they challenged the last couple of years. So Jason Morris, the man we saw from Burnt Hills, is against this man, Pete Zakowski.
Peter Zakowski.
And they're going to start right now. First period. Zakowski in the purple from Pittsford Sutherland High School. Well, Morris, as we said, from Burnt Hills. Zakowski right away after Morris. No points. Good match so far. Morris in the maroon fighting to get out. While Zakowski trying to take him. Good strength. Notice the leg held in there by Jason Morris. Keeps him from being taken down. Locks the leg in. Zakowski gets the tables turned. No points. So Zakowski escapes. One minute gone in the first period. No points. Zakowski close to being taken down by Morris. Oh, and he put Zakowski down. No points again. Zakowski been lucky so far. Morris does it again, but this time he's going to pick up the points, and he puts Zakowski right on his back. It's going to be a 5-point move. Yep, now he's got 3 back points. He could pin him. 25 seconds. Lets him up. 3 points. So 5 points for Jason Morris. Jason Morris, the 11th grader, junior in high school, picks up 5 points in that first period. 5-1. We'll get set to start the second period. And on the bottom will be Zykowski, on the top, Morris. Jason Morris. One-point escape, 5-2. Zykowski's a 12th grader, 35-3 on the year. Ooh, same move on Zykowski. Garners 2 more points for Morris, and he gives him 1 an escape. 7-3. So it looks like it's going to be a battle of upper body strength. 7-3. The score? No takedown yet. Both men trying to get one. We may get a stalemate. Zykowski throws the leg. Nice counter by Morris, but they go out of bounds. A lot of excitement. 1 minute left in the second period. Zykowski appeared to be in charge at the beginning of the first period, but lost it on the counters by Jason Morris from Burn Hills High School, who was definitely in charge and up 7-3. As a matter of fact, he was in real trouble. Zykowski almost got pinned, gave up 3. And you see again that Morris trying to get that leg in and trip Zykowski. Zykowski, they go out of bounds. .25 seconds. Zykowski gets in deep. Nice counter, though, by Morris. 15 seconds. Good upper body strength, but Zykowski can't do anything. And that trip by Morris, now they both trip and re-trip, and Morris is going to take Zykowski down again. And that's going to be the end of the period. So credit Jason Morris from Section 2. Good moves on his feet. Makes it 9-3. And Morris will start out on the bottom. He's only an 11th grader, 37-0 this year. And working really well against Pete Zykowski out of Pittsburgh Sutherland, the man on top in the purple, who was actually down by 6 points and will, in this third period, have to put Morris on his back. Morris up and going to escape. 1 point. 10-3 now. The score. 1:30 left in this last period. Zykowski, good strength, and he's just trying to muscle, and they're going to call. Oh! They stopped the match. Referee stopped the match because the headgear of Morris came off, and the fans felt that it was an advantage. They go up high, and Zykowski goes down low, trying to muscle Morris for a takedown as we head toward the final minute. Actually, 1:05 left in this third period. And Morris just takes Zykowski right over his back. He is really excellent on his feet. And he's got Zykowski in real trouble. Yes, a pin! 5:05. That's our only pin so far in Jason Morris in 5:05. Becomes the state champ, the junior, by pinning Pete Zykowski. So Jason Morris, our real favorite among the fans now for pinning. And he'll be back next year, no doubt. He gets a congratulations from his coach.
Awards area 155-pound class.
The only pin we've had so far, and that was 167 pounds, as Jason Morris from Burnhill High School, there he is, gets more congratulations, comes up with the only pin so far, 505. Shouldn't have any real effect on the sectional standings since Section 2 does not have a lot of people left in this to challenge Section 11 or Section 5. But at 177, we have Chris Shojan from East Rochester will be coming up, and Mike Himes from Queensbury. There's Shojan. They call him Shojan the Barbarian, after a new movie of the same name, 177 pounds. He was second last year, and there's Himes from Queensbury in Section 2. He's 34-0 this year. And he's 95, 18-1, and he was fifth at the States last year. Shojan, as we said, 36-0 this year. And we're looking now at Sections 2, Michael Himes. Fifth at 177. Last year, Mike Himes introduced to the crowd. Undefeated this year, as is Chris Shojan.
85 wins, 11 losses. This year's record, 36 wins.
And we're just about to start. Shojan's only a junior, by the way. He's got 85 wins already.
High School, Section 5, Chris Shojan.
Shojan, a little bit more in reputation anyway, the aggressor. Pat Connors of Section 3 was one of the people picked to be here, but he got beat on the way up. So the man to beat would be the man in the purple on the left of the screen. Shojan, Chris Shojan from East Rochester High School. The man who stands in his way, Mike Himes from Queensbury, Section 2. Section 5 could certainly use the points to pad their lead. Both men possess good upper body strength. No points yet. Shojan's headgear a little bit loose. So Himes gets a chance to take a look at Shojan, see what you do to attack this particular man. Shojan the Barbarian from Section 5. That's his nickname. Himes got knee guards on, the long pants. We were talking about being aggressive. Both men warned for stalling with a minute to go in that first period. 177 pounds. And Dave, both of these men very, very strong, and they both took similar routes to get here, but Shojan supposedly the man to beat in this weight class.
Well, Shojan won over Mike Urso in a pin at 5:16. Then he blanked Greg Linker 10-0, and then the 1-5-3 decision over Dom Cianchetti. Mike Hines, winner over Jim Collins 4-3. Then he took Dave Dodds in a pin at 5:53, and then beat Pat Connors at Section 3, 8-2.
Well, he beat a good man in Connors, and he just got 2 points right there for a takedown over Shojan, so it's going to be 2-0 in favor of Himes with 19 seconds left in the first period. Himes controlling Shojan, trying to break that base down, control him up a little bit high. Good leg control, and this period will end with a 2-0 lead for Mike Himes.
Still to come after this, wrestling at 215 pounds and then 250 pounds.
A duffel bag has been lost in room 232.
I wonder if these guys met last year. They were both at the same weight. Himes was 5th, while Shojan was 2nd. At least they know about each other. Sojan, the 11th grader. Himes, the senior. Second period. 2-0 lead for Himes as we wind down to 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go in the second period.
We've yet to see a pin.
Well, maybe we may see one here. Another one, actually. If you recall, we had one just a while back. It was near the end. 5 minutes, but 1 point, Green. Stalling. So Sojan picks up a point.
The official has a little bit of a look of disgust before he blows that whistle.
Yeah. 1 point now is going to be 3 as he gives a point to Himes, I believe. We got 3 scores and we got 3 different scores. Now I think they're right. I think it's 3-1. Himes trying to get away from Sojan. He's going to be taken out of bounds.
That's an animated coach.
Excited. Himes, good move on the bottom.
Nearly got away.
Yep. He's quick.
And he does.
There he does. Turns in.
4-1 lead now for Mike Himes from Queensbury High School in Section 2.
Glens Falls area. 4-1. Himes in the lead. Shoots the takedown. Doesn't get it yet, but may. He's very close to getting 2 points. There he's got it. Got that control. Get the head out.
And the end of the period with a 6-1 lead for Mike Himes. Is this a surprise?
Well, you know, I thought it would be, or not personally. In talking to people, they said that, geez, Sojan's got all the ink and kind of all the momentum. But as you look, Himes was 5th last year in the States at 177 pounds. So this is not his first time downtown. He doesn't look quite as strong as Sojan, but that's not everything in wrestling. And he's got a good crossface on, and he's really taken that down to the knee. Looked like he might be going for a cradle as Himes takes the head to the knee, the classic way of getting the cradle in. Look at him lock it up. Now they're just going to kick back if he can. A lot of strength. Sojan's got too much strength to let that happen to him. Minute 30 in this match, 6-1. The lead by the man on top in the purple with the tights. Oh, nice move, but was it too late? No, it wasn't.
It's an escape. And so Sojan gets the point. Now trails 6-2. Third period with 1:15 left. Sojan's got to do something desperate.
Just about 1:05 now, and you're right. He's going to have to get desperate. Not quite yet, but he's going to have to certainly be aggressive, and I think Himes knows that. But you know what? Himes is matching him aggression for aggression. He's up by 4. Himes is. He lets Sojan get a little close to him, but he fights his way back up. Ooh, nice collision.
That showed good quickness on the part of Himes as he saw Sojan trying to get low, and he went lower to keep him out.
Good point. Good reaction time. Good counter. Nice move. Oh, he may give up 2, but Sojan almost got 2 as we're coming down. They're going to come right out in front of us. 32 seconds left in this match, and it's turned out to be a good one. Mike Himes. Oh, boy, same thing happened again. Strength to strength. Both of them being very, very aggressive. Sojan getting a little more desperate now. 24 seconds. And
his face does show that frustration.
He also got some blood on there. He took a shot when they collided. I wondered when that was going to happen.
That butt moments ago.
And you can see that said, yeah, that's all right. they're going to wipe off the blood. With 20 seconds, I don't think it'll really be a factor. See one of the pretty fans here. And they bring him right back into...
This official doesn't mess around.
No, he doesn't. He's really in control.
He ordered one man to get his head clean from the blood and the other man to stay there.
13 seconds.
1 point being awarded.
So Sojan's now 6'3". Takedown will give him 5, but there's not enough time left. He's going to really have to get desperate. 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it.
Happy man and a happy coach.
Mike Himes from Queensbury High School, Section 2. Pulls off. Not an upset really, but a fine match for himself and for his section.
Mike Himes saluting the fans at the War Memorial and giving his coach the old bear hug. That's great to see, Dale.
It's been a long season. You know, these guys started wrestling months ago, and it's...
you know it!
Yeah.
Sixth place, Section 4, Ray Ward.
Get some great shots there. A big kiss from his coach.
Fifth place, Section 9, Paul Bailey.
Well, if ever there was a sport with blood, sweat, and tears, this is it.
This is it. He gave the old hi, Mom, the classic I'm on television. We're going to move up.
Now we jump up.
Yep.
Section 5,
Nearly a 40-pound jump to 215 pounds. Jeff Ellis of Clarence. He's a junior. That's in Section 6. And his opponent at 215 pounds will be Vinny Altabrando, Section 11 from Newfield. There's a man who looks determined.
Yes, he does. Well, you look at it, Altabrando, he's a 12th grader, 30-1 this year.
This year's record, 30 wins, 1 loss, 17-year-old senior, Newfield High School in Section 11.
He might be kind of a dark horse.
Now, interesting now, Dale, one man looks much looser and more relaxed. That is the man standing up with his back to you now, who is Jeff Ellis. Altabrando staring down at the mat, trying to psych himself up into competitive posture, and here we go.
Difficult to tell sometimes. Of course, you don't wrestle with faces, but you're right. 2 different styles.
Ellis undefeated, Altabrando only 1 loss.
Ellis from Clarence is only a junior, and he's got 87 wins already, 87-11-0. He looks like a real athlete. Oh, Vinny Altabrando, also a good-looking prospect. Used to be 215 pounds. You didn't get guys built like this, but these kids are both well-built, strong, probably play football.
They're not as squat as the wrestlers used to be at this weight.
You see the move, Altabrando taken down. And a quick half Nelson thrown by Ellis.
He's got Altabrando in big trouble.
Yes, he does, and Altabrando is not close enough to get out of bounds. Oh, boy, he looks flat.
He's
yeah,
pinned.
He sure did. 53 seconds. So we do come up with our second pin.
And again, I go back to what I said before this match. Which man is looser?
Now, Vinny Altabrando, it's got to make him feel terrible, but, geez, it's really an honor just to make it here and take second place.
Vin is not very happy.
Well, that happens. You can see right here how flat he is. It was certainly no fluke.
He had everything going his way. He had him so that he could not get out of bounds. Had him in the grasp. And very quickly now we move up to our final match of the night of the 1984 state championships. There's a look at Larry Simons, a senior from Island Trees High School. This is the 250-pound weight class. Larry Simons, and here's Randy Morrison, the last hope of Section 3 from Lowville. Randy Morrison, a senior. Larry Simons is a senior.
Second place, Section 5, Chris.
There's Randy, senior. Section 3, flashing a little bit of a smile. That was earlier tonight. You won't see a smile now. He's all business. And Larry Simons, Island Trees High School. Section 8, Long Island. Final match of the night as you watch it here on Cable 13 Sports.
Morrison was a runner-up last year. He would be, I guess, the favorite. Simons from Island Trees is a senior. 58-0 for a career. Simon's pretty well taped up. Left knee. We'll see him come into our screen. There he is.
Well, that Ellis last match was a good-looking athlete.
Yes, he is. And he's only an 11th grader.
Looks like the prototype of your college football linebacker of tomorrow.
And he could probably do, like, car ads and stuff, too. He's a good-looking kid. Now you see some different styles here. You won't see legs here. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. I think we said that last year and it happened. But generally 250 or 250 pounders. A lot of throws, a lot of counters. Takedown right there. 2 points as Simons gets taken down by Morrison.
Simons on the bottom is a heavily taped left knee.
Yes, he does. And as we've said before, Dave, when we did the Syracuse matches, you don't make it through a season without a lot of bumps and bruises. And, of course, the knee's one of those joints that always takes a lot of strain. Right there, Morrison almost got some points from Simons, putting him on his back, but Simons rolled through and almost had Morrison in trouble. But nothing changed, still 2-0 by virtue of a takedown.
The upper hand now belongs to Randy Morrison.
He's got legs in. I knew it would happen. He's got legs and he's trying for a guillotine.
Got the half Nelson now. They stop it.
Tried to take that up north with him. Lowville, a high school Section 3, good wrestling school.
1 minute, 1 second remaining. First period, last match of the state championships. Hope you've enjoyed it here on Cable 13.
You know, they used to have unlimited class, Dave. You could weigh anything. You know, now they've maxed it out at 250 pounds, but I can remember seeing people 300-400 pounds wrestling. And it.
Well, what do you do if you're a high school athlete and you really are up there?
I don't know. You don't wrestle anymore, I guess. I guess all you can do is play football. College, it's all right, but not in high school. And right now, a cradle applied by Morrison.
Larry Simons in big trouble.
Simons got cranked over.
He almost escapes.
Oh, he's going to pick up 2 points anyway. Oh, he's got him back again. He knocks the head out. Simons' head was bridging, and he tried to knock the base out and bring him back down. He's done it again. Take the headgear off of Randy Morrison. So he'll pick up 3 points for the back near fall, 5-0.
Larry Simons shaking out the cobwebs and anything else that got knocked loose by Randy Morrison.
He also is favoring his leg. Coach just said to Simons, the 250-pounder from Island Trees, you've been behind before. Come on, let's get going. And that knee, I think he's really favoring that knee. Trying to step over. Morrison tried to step over on Simons. Simons just cranks him over. Nice move by Simons. Morrison in trouble now.
Now the tables are turned, reversed.
Nice bridge by Morrison, but Simons takes him back. He may be pinned. No.
Like the coach said, you've been behind before. It's Simons in the driver's seat.
1:30 left. And you see his arm, his left arm is underneath the shoulder. He had to change it if he wanted to pin Morrison. Morrison fighting to get off his back, and he does. Oh, boy. 3 points, 5-3. Morrison, a real scare from Simons. Simons using the cradle. Oh, 250-pounders, they both move very well and are very agile.
Back we go again to the mat. Under a minute remaining here, second period. The man in yellow, Randy Morrison, still leads 5-3, but...
Boy, yeah, he sure knows that he's not in the lead psychologically. Oh,
what a move.
Yeah, he tried to come over. He had a reverse half. He's going to pick up 2 and 2. 2 back points, 2, so they'll stay the same in terms of distance apart. 30 seconds left in the second period. Morrison got the half in, got a leg on, but he lost the leg. And they go out of bounds. Incidentally, Simon's got the left knee taped. He's also got the right hand and wrist taped. So Simon's down by 2 still, but it's 7-5, not 5-3, by virtue of 2 back points and a reverse.
Larry, 2-point match. Let's go, kid. Get 2 here, Larry. Larry.
Injury clock. They're going to start the injury clock, I believe.
Larry, come on, kid.
Because of, I don't know whether it's the headgear. Yeah, there we go. Stopped it.
Now let's see who's got the momentum going their way.
Conditioning can be a real question mark here. Morrison looks a little tired.
Simons looks the fresher of the two now.
Yes, he does. And, you know, it's tough fighting off your back. It always seems to be, both people exert a lot of energy, but it just seems the guy in the bottom, of course, he's got more weight on him.
Now Morrison rolls Simons over.
Watch him roll him through again. If he doesn't watch it, he'll pick up 3 back points. Oh, he's got Simons flat. That's going to end the period. You're going to pick up 3. That'll make it 10-5. Yeah, 10-5. Morrison in charge now, but we saw what happened before. Anything can happen in this match. Third period, just about to start. Randy Morrison on top in the goal. The man who's just going down on the mat is Larry Simons from Island Trees High School, Section 8. 23-2 this year, while Randy Morrison is 29-1. Morrison in yellow on top by 5 points, 10-5. And Morrison looks gassed.
Section 3's Randy Morrison.
Morrison's going for a cradle on the bad knee. You can get yourself in trouble sometimes with these cradles because they just roll right through with it. But I think Morrison would be pleased to just stay right like that for the next minute and a half. But he can't. He's got to keep moving. Simon's not able to move real well from the bottom. Now, I think that leg perhaps a problem. He sits out, tries that hand control, tries to spin and turn in, but he's just not fast enough to counter Morrison. Looks gassed, but he's able to ride Larry Simons.
I think both guys will sleep well tonight.
Definitely. How he hooks the leg. He's got the tight waist. Simons, there's Simons. He's the man down by 5. He's got a lot of work to do as we come down to 1 minute.
Well, this could be the last gasp effort now if you can roll him over.
Morrison better watch himself.
But Morrison has control
yes,
from up
he does.
top.
Yes, he does now. Morrison's got an eye on that clock. And you can see it right there, how much time is left.
Misconduct.
Yes. Oh. Mr. Simons apparently didn't like that. It's going to be 11-5. And I think if the referee had seen what he did, it would have been 1 more point. We don't know what the misconduct was.
Grabbing his face.
Is that what it was? Yeah. Morrison.
Trying to rip his nose off.
Morrison takes that bad leg of Simons and holds on. He's got to watch out. Simons is going to give up 3 back points.
Half a minute to go, and this one looks pretty handily in the grasp of Randy Morrison of Section 3.
He'll be up 14-5 when this move ends if he doesn't get sloppy.
This will be a nice way for the locals to finish it off.
18 seconds. 16, 15. There, 15 seconds. 5:45.
An even better way to end it for Section 3 wrestlers as Randy Morrison comes through with the pin of Larry Simons to win the 250-pound class at the state championships here in Syracuse. So all the wrestling action is complete, and Randy Morrison has won the 250-pound match.
Well, as we said, Morrison was a runner-up in '83. There he is out of Lowville, and we'll see. Watch 15, that's it. There was the pin. Reverse half, just put him on his back. And some of the crowd getting ready to leave, but a lot of people spend the weekend here. So,
Third place, section 1, Dan Mecca.
So the wrestling action is all wrapped up now, and a quick rundown in case you missed anything. At 91 pounds, Joe Lafredo was defeated by Rick Brzezinski. At 98 pounds, it was Gene McNeil over Butch Hibbard. Phil Consiglio defeated Paul Lanphier. Jeff Clark over Tony Melfi. Trevor Ernie narrowly over Willie Warren. Marty King defeated Darren Cummings. It was Joe Plant over Tim Quinn. Mike Arena defeated Tom Becker. John Sir beat John Barrett. Brian Kurlander over Ron LaSorsa. Jason Morris
beat Zakowski.
Then it was Himes over Shojan. Ellis pinned Alto Brando, and just now Randy Morrison with the pin over Larry Simons.
Incidentally, we have the final standing. Section 5 finished first with 207. Section 11 was runner-up with 185. Then it goes Section 6 was third, Section 4 was fourth, and Section 3 was fifth. So a lot of good wrestling action, but Section 5 able to pull it out. Those head-to-head matches, they came through and beat Section 11. So Section 5 last year, which was upset basically by Section 11 at the end, came through.
Section 5 winning the state championship for the first time since 1981. No announcement yet on the most outstanding wrestler, but we hope you enjoyed it here on Cable 13 Sports tonight. For Dale Drypolcher, I'm Dave Cohen. Thanks for being with us here on Cable 13 Sports. The New York State High School Wrestling Championships have been produced by Bob Jabinville. Our director, Gary Mariano. Our technical director, Dick LaRose, and our remote supervisor, Andy Swag. Now, for all of us at Cable 13 Sports, our thanks for being with us tonight, and we hope you look forward to Syracuse University lacrosse, which is coming up in just a matter of a couple of weeks. So check the newspapers for the time and station in your area. This has been a presentation of Cable 13 Sports and Syracuse Cable Systems.